So you wanna go to war with me? You're talking like you think you're royalty. You think that I'm afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. Storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne. So you wanna be my enemy? You should've known I'd never kiss the rain. Ice runs in my veins. Won't play it safe. I don't belong with your nobility. Who died and made you king of anything? You think that I'm insane? It's your mistake. Kingdoms rise and fall. I've come to take it all. I'll take it. I've come to take it. Kingdoms rise and fall. I've come to take it all. I'll take it all. Storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes. gonna look back, cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change, slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, cause that's what it takes.
All right, y'all. Howdy, howdy. Wednesday, September 24th, T-13 for our GameStop warrants. Casey, how you doing? Thank you for your comment on the opening. I had fun. I put together the video for that. Obviously, not my music. I got it from the YouTube studio library, but was just wanting to mess around with doing some video editing, putting a bunch of pics and clips and messing around with movement. That was a fun little opening. I've been thinking about changing it up a little bit. Actually, it's 2 songs, right? Yeah, I put together the video for both of those. Glad to hear you're doing well. Chris, Concert Corner, good afternoon to you. Who else we got in here? Andres, good afternoon. I need to make this text a little bit bigger or put my glasses on. Let's see. See what I can do here. I don't want to be squinting. Let me close this and then reopen it. Bleep, bleep. That's a little better. It's hell getting old, you guys. Although my eye doctor said for a long time, he's like, you should need reading glasses by now. And he said that for about 10 years till finally one day it was true. What are you gonna do? GameStop 26.47. We're actually down a little bit today, down 1.25%. Going back 2 days, we hit the high of 27.34 2 days ago. Dink says getting old is not for the weak. Not for the weak, Dink, right? Make sure you eat right, drink plenty of water, get plenty of exercise, and marry someone 20 years younger. That is my recipe for success. Cheers to you guys. Water, by the way, not vodka. Let's see how the rest of the market is doing in case you're just tuning in and wondering why the heck is GameStop down. Bed Bath & Beyond. Ooh, that one's green. No, that's not BBBY. That was another ticker someone asked me to look up. BBBY. Oh, it is up 1%. Tesla's up today. Our meme stocks. Quantum's down. Everything else is up. Movie theaters down. How is that with Taylor Swift coming out? How could all the movie theaters be down? General markets, red, red, red. Well, there you go. Dow is in the red. S&P in the red. NASDAQ in the red. Not surprising then that GameStop's under a little pressure today. Kitty Cowboy, meow, how you doing? Bienvenido. Buenas tardes. Andres, cheers, cheers. Thank you for the cheers. Drink up. Drink your water, ladies and gents. Maggie would want you to drink your water. The gaming channel of awesome asks a excellent question. Do you think GameStop has more pullback to go before the warrants? I was thinking it was going to go up leading to the warrants. I was thinking the same thing with you, that it's likely to go up leading up to the warrants. And look, that was what, September 9th that they were announced? I mean, we were up $4. That's pretty good. So I'm not sweating being red for a day or two. I still think that there is upward momentum potential leading up to, I don't know if it's going to be the 3rd or the 7th. I'm curious to see which one's going to be more pivotal for anybody that's jockeying around trying to game this situation. So I don't know. I'm just going to say the 3rd, 7th is going to be the date where I think you see things play out. Either the price gets slammed back down, or maybe it has a day or two of volatility because people are scrambling to go buy warrants. Now, I'm getting a lot of questions. Let's just kind of go over my general opinion, because I had somebody ask in the comments in the last day or so, Tony, with those billions of shorts out there, do you think the shorts are going to have trouble finding warrants? First of all, wrong channel. You guys have never heard me ever on any ticker talk about billions of shorts. Go to the pumper channels for that. What we talk about here is the reported short interest. That I'm never going to get in trouble talking about reported short interest. Are you with me? If people want to exaggerate things, maybe they're right, maybe they're not. Maybe they get sued one day, maybe they don't. Telling you about manipulation and billions of shorts. I don't know. I mean, that'd be cool if it's true, but I don't talk about that on this channel. Never have. We talk about reported short interest. It's about 66 million shares on GameStop. And the bulk of those are convertible bondholders doing delta hedging, probably 2/3 of them, and they will all get warrants from GameStop. So a small fraction of the reported short interest will need to be scrambling for warrants. They got a couple options, the way I see it. They can close out their short prior to the date of record, or they could just say, you know what, it's going to be 30 cents per share. We can eat that. No problem. You guys have done the math, right? You know, it's only going to cost them like 30 cents per share. All these people saying it's doomsday for the shorts. 30 cents per share. 40 maybe, if you say it's a $4 warrant. To the lender, when they got the shares from, because they have an obligation if they're not getting a delivery of a warrant from GameStop, like the bondholders who are short. If you're just a short out there and you don't own bonds, you're going to have to pay cash in lieu to the lender, or you're going to have to go out and buy warrants in the open market. But we also believe there will be plenty of sellers on the day that they're distributed, because look at Fintel and look at all of the ETFs. Maybe we'll do that today. Look at all the ETFs that own GameStop. They don't care about warrants. That's a passive investment. They are going to dump those warrants. There will be, in my opinion, my guess, this is opinion and guess, speculation. We'll all find out together. And this is completely different than what anyone else is telling you. I get it. But if I'm right, then I'm not going to have to tell you a bunch of excuses and it was crime and GameStop fucked up, the DTCC screwed us, the OCC fucked up. I think there's going to be plenty of sellers of warrants when they're distributed, and there might be some demand from buyers. I can't tell you how that's going to balance out, but do I think it's billions? No. 5 million, 10 million, 15 million. Should we look up how many passive ETFs shares there are in GameStop? I bet there's 15 million. I bet there is if we look on Fintel. Did we lose the stream? Did we lose the stream or are we back? Every time we start talking about shorts, they try and take us down. Was anything I talked about skipped over? Do we need to go back? I'm just about had it with Streamlabs. I was looking at StreamYard today, but they want like $90 a month. $90 a month for StreamYard. Are you kidding me? Maybe we just start going back to Restream. I pay for that one too. And we don't really seem to have these problems like we do with Streamlabs. We got StreamYard, Streamlabs, Restream. Very brief blackouts. All right. So hopefully you guys kind of see where I'm at. I do think that there is room to say the price is going to run up because a lot of retail interest and maybe some shorts closing out prior to the data record. I've been saying from the day they announced it, I expect the price to go up. Around the day of distribution, could be a little bit of volatility on the warrants. Would not surprise me. There will be some shorts that need to pick them up, not the billions that people are telling you. And then after a couple days, maybe even one day, you'll see things settle down. That is going to be my guess. Would I love to be wrong? Would I love for the people telling you billions of warrants are going to need to be located? Of course I would. Do I think that they're living in a world of reality? Probably not, these people. What am I betting on? What do I love about GameStop? $9 billion of cash, baby. $9 billion of cash that you don't know what Ryan Cohen is going to do with it. That's a good enough speculative bet. We don't need to say anything else. The math is very simple. Operationally, the company is now profitable. You're not burning cash through operations. Good. Is it as much profit as we would want from operations? No. We'll give it a couple quarters and see how PowerPax does. But at least they're not burning cash. That's a step in the right direction. Meanwhile, $9 billion in cash. I think, if you're a speculator, that's a reasonable bet. And then you only have to decide what is a good entry on the price where you get most of the risk wrung out. Closer to 2021 obviously is more risk-free than 26, 27. I don't have any advice for you on should you buy right now. That your risk tolerance. You are going to own your outcome. You're not going to put that on me. So you do your thing, and we'll all still be friends. I have not bought since 2161 in June. And I'm good riding with that. Did y'all see this news article the other day in the Weeble News? It got picked up. It got picked up on Twitter and Reddit, and I saw YouTubers talking about it. Oh, 120 price target. $120 price target. Sounds good to me. I believe it. I think it was this. Simply Wall Street is the author. Weeble reposted it. And somewhere in here, I know this is hard even for me to see. Somewhere in here, it talks about $120 price target. Oh, yeah. Result, fair value, $120 undervalued. I know y'all can't see that, but you can go click on this in Webull. And so, you know, come on. We've done the discounted cash flow analysis. We've done the sum of all parts analysis. We've done the bearish stance, and we've done, you know, I haven't talked with you guys about it, but we've done the more bullish, like going forward. None of them come up with $120 fair value. That's just, you're going to have to give me some assumptions about the use of cash to get me there. Like, tell me what's it going to be invested in? What's the return on invested capital on that? Then maybe, but where's the details on this? They're not here, but people love it. They just love to repeat it and retweet it and talk about it in videos. So I went to Simply Wall Street and I looked up. Oh yeah, sure enough, it does. Look at the top right here. It does say fair value 120. Huh. Got to be true, right? Or could this be one GameStop investor's price target? One individual investor. Who is Prime is back? A community contributor. He's got his price target for fair value is what Simply Wall Street is showing. Let's see. He's got his Twitter link here. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, he's a GameStop investor. Well, I mean, you have to do the second step of DD, right? You can't just read an article on Webull and then say, Webull's saying $120 fair value. Like, I guess if you're just trying to grift on people, trick them, lie to them, you just repost it and don't do any DD. But we want to be better than that, right? We want to be better than that as reporters, as content creators. We don't want to half-ass this shit. So the onus is on all of us, Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, to do the second step, to dig a little deeper, to provide real value to people, not pumping, grifting nonsense. But I think this guy is price anchoring. $120. That's way too low, don't you think? I wonder what happens if we click on edit fair value. We could select different people. This person, $11.91. What a freaking bear. Nobody voted for that shit. $35, $13.50. We got various community contributors we could pick from. I like this guy's, Tony DeNaro. He likes the stock. He says fair value is $420.69. Boy, let's upvote that shit. Y'all need to go on there and upvote it. I'm going to set that as my fair value. Let's go. Look at this now. Now look at this. And y'all want to see something funny? Y'all want to see something funny? Where is... I put that in there. It took me 5 seconds. I wanted to test social media. Put that in there a day or so ago. And look at this. Didn't take Reddit super stonk, but one day, look at this. 420.69. What's 420.69 fair value, you say? Let me retweet that. I need some karma. This guy, Dixon Heresy. I did no write-up, no math. Took me 5 seconds to create an account and put a made-up fair value on there. You know how many likes this got? It's like over 700 at the time of this posting. I wonder if we can see. 1,600 upvotes. This guy that stole my DD, Dixon Harries. Why didn't you credit me? Oh, you didn't know that it was a made-up number even, did you? You just saw it on the website. This is how bad we've become, especially Reddit, super stonk. Just post whatever to get people to buy the stock. It's annoying, it's abhorrent, it's disgusting. And I guess suffice to say, social media experiment proven right here. Yeah, Kenneth, it is their favorite number. That's why I picked it. I created that number. I'm waiting for a news article to run with it. So far, super stunk. They found it immediately. Pretty funny. Funny stuff. Got to be careful out there, guys. Got to be careful with these people that are putting out fair value price targets. 99% of them have no clue what they're talking about. Show me your discounted cash flow. Show me your projection of future earnings with a reasonable multiple. Then we can talk. We could have a discussion. We could have even a debate. I don't think, if we had a debate, we probably wouldn't even be that far off. Because I'll talk realistic numbers with you all day long. It's just when people put a price out there with nothing behind it. No. Now I'm talking a normal, reasonable valuation, right? In a short squeeze, I don't have any limits on what things could do, but the short interest is not really that high on GameStop. I can't even talk about it as a short squeeze stock. I haven't even checked it in a week. Let's see what it's at. Short exchange. All these people expecting miracles in October. I mean, it could be a day or two of volatility, maybe. But let's see what the short interest is. 16%. Yeah, I mean, I don't even get out of bed for less than 20%. I see a lot of people that already lost their ass betting on XRT and GMEU FTDs. Now they're going to go bet on warrants. Bet the house, bet the farm. Billions of warrants they're going to need to locate. I mean, how many times can Lucy pull the football from Charlie Brown before these kids learn? I don't get it. Grifter's going to grift. Pumper's going to pump. And they'll call it crime and manipulation when nothing happens. Beautiful 20% run up here. I know some of y'all already took profits. Some of y'all like me are waiting to see what happens in the next 13 days. I ain't sold yet. I think we could go a little higher. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just trying to be a little bit of voice of reality, that angel on your shoulder. Lord knows there's a lot of devils out there. They're gonna appeal to that greed index inside of you. Maybe it'll work out. Maybe it will work out this time. I sure hope so. But hey, as long as you're the type of person that says, I'm going to own the outcome no matter what. If it doesn't work out, the only person to blame is that one in the mirror, and I'll stop listening to those pumpers, then you do whatever you want. This is already a beautiful run-up. I mean, am I wrong? 21, 22 bucks to 27.34. I'd like to see by October 3rd, 7th, a retest of this supply zone up here. I wouldn't say that's out of the realm of possibility. But I'd have to be majorly wrong about what's going to happen with the warrants. I think really nobody's scared about the warrants. Need some of my gum. It's about this time in the stream where I really want to hit the vape, but it's been 2 weeks now that we have not been doing it. I got my little nicotine gum. They say you're supposed to take this stuff for 8 weeks. Seems like a long time. What else we got to talk about today? Oh, I know what else we got to talk about. The warrant agreement. Warrant agreement. This one's kind of interesting. Thank you, Casey. I hope so. And then I got to convince the wife to stop too. Now, that's going to be a whole nother. These guys, the Bed Bath & Beyond people that lost all their money and now have become GameStop experts. Got some DD here. They went back to 1984 and found a document with the words warrant dividend in it and said, GameStop and BBBY are using this exact plan, which isn't common at all on the NYSE. This is a plan which talks about how to use warrant dividends to prevent a hostile takeover. Now, I want you to pay attention to the words here. GME and BBBY are using this exact plan. This exact plan. This exact plan. They're going to have a space call today when the market closes, talking about how GameStop and BBY are using this exact plan. I went and looked up the plan myself. Does this look like the exact same plan? Term 5 to 10 years of the warrants. Exercise price 200 to 500% of the current market price? No. Sorry, gentlemen. I mean, I know y'all like tinfoil, and it would have been fine to say, you know, I don't bother with you if you want to tell Bed Bath & Beyond investors that they're going to get the GameStop warrant. Hey, you'll find out in a few days that that's not true too. And that's just speculation, so I leave you alone on that. But when you tell people and you don't post the whole document that this is the exact same plan, that is blatant lying. It's lying. You stopped reading at the words warrant dividend on page 1 and put out a tweet that got thousands of views, and it is just incorrect information. You can create a warrant dividend to prevent a hostile takeover, and the plan is laid out in the document, but this is not the same thing that GameStop did. It's not the same thing that Bed Bath & Beyond did. And someone in the comments said, but Tony, don't you think it's weird that GameStop and Bed Bath & Beyond haven't filed their warrant dividend agreement with the SEC yet? No. Not unusual at all. Most companies, remember, I gave y'all 7 tickers this weekend. 7 tickers to look up. How many of them do you think waited to the last minute to file a warrant agreement? 50%? 75%? 100%. 424B2, I think, is the form number. Typically filed on the day that the warrants are distributed. Nothing zero zilch unusual about GameStop and Bed Bath & Beyond not having filed the warrant agreement. In fact, if you look up MTPI, I think is the ticker, they filed theirs 30 days after the warrants were distributed. So no. If people are looking for needles in a haystack, but they don't realize they're digging through a pile of cow shit. It's not a haystack, boys. You're literally looking in cow shit. Horse shit, maybe. Because you have no reference points. You don't know what you're talking about. Like, do the second step. Do a modicum of due diligence. They're not here for doing DD, though. They're here for grifting and social media engagement. They don't care about being truthful. It's a shame. It really is a shame. They lost so many people so much money on Bed Bath & Beyond, and now they're going to do it again with GameStop. I mean, show the whole document. Prove me wrong. Tell me how it's exactly the same. It's not. Not at all. I wish it was. 26:34. What do we got? We got about 24 minutes left in this day. What other questions do y'all got? Carl had a message that got spanked by the bot. Let's see what it says. Carl says, GME Bulls Only, how many times have you paper handed yours? Many times, Carl. Unabashedly so. I would guarantee you that I have far more profits trading GameStop than anybody who has been not trading. What's your goal, Carl? My goal is to make money. I've been swing trading GameStop since the split date. I did that buy and hold bullshit. I saw the amount of people lying to social media about a split dividend, and I was like, fuck this. We got a community full of liars and bad DD writers. I made plenty of videos telling you the split was not going to be a dividend. It was going to be a normal reverse split. And I sold at the peak of that, and I've only been swing trading it since then. Full disclosure, never have hid what I've done, and we make money doing it. And there's nothing wrong with that, Carl. Doesn't mean that I hate GameStop. It means that I love my portfolio. Trying to teach you guys how to actually realize some green. You don't want to do that? That's fine. We could still be friends. I'm not going to type in all caps on your channel, Carl. You could do whatever you want. I don't care who buys and holds. It doesn't matter to me if you're bullish or bearish. I'm here for one thing, Carl. To make money. And if that's not you, there's plenty of other channels to go check out. Plenty of people that will tell you what you want to hear, Carl. We've cultivated quite a different audience. And speaking of people who believe grifters and bad DD writers, I want to take a moment of silence for Nana Ape, who we found out today from social media posts that she passed on. Now, I've talked to Nana Ape in the past. She wasn't a regular viewer of my channel. I know Mediocre's talked to her before also. We had a lot of talks with her around the time that AMC and Ape were making their way towards the court decision. And, you know, I was talking to you guys about AMC was going to be obliterated and Ape was going to go up when the The court made their decision, and then there was going to be dilution after that. Remember all those talks we had? But Nana Ape wanted to believe the YouTubers who she was listening to that she was going to get rich off of AMC. And so she held, and then she lost 90% after the court decision. What did we do? We bought Cheap Ape. We sold on the court decision. We talked about it here. Got a lot of hate, death threats. But folks that listened did okay. And it's okay if you didn't listen. I get it. The other story sounded a lot better, no doubt. But we will always feel sad in our hearts that we couldn't convince Nana Ape. We had one-on-one discussions with her, and she could not be swayed. Many people could not be swayed. I probably still have a few in my Discord that can't be swayed. But many took active control of their portfolio. Swing trading, selling covered calls, selling cash secured puts, and recovered in some cases up to 6-digit losses. Now, Carl sounds like he's not the type of guy that wants to recover if he's in the red. He's just going to keep buying and pray for a miracle. Laura says you couldn't buy Ape in Europe. Yeah, that was unfortunate, Laura. And you can't do options in a lot of those brokers too. I have some people in Europe in my Discord, and I get it. Some of y'all are at a disadvantage. In that case, you know, in that case, we have a couple of other strategies, Laura. Number one, invest in profitable companies instead of these very speculative ones. And that, you know, that's not for everyone. Some of y'all, me included, like to gamble in speculative stocks. I personally keep it to a small percentage of my portfolio because sometimes I'm wrong. But the other thing you can do is pay very close attention to the company, its financials, any potential corporate actions, and then have really good timing. Getting good at timing requires that you probably disengage from social media. Like right now, everybody, I see them in AMC saying it's great timing. 2025 is going to be great. Q4 is going to be awesome. I agree. But they won't talk about the proxy statement. They won't talk about the upcoming vote. So if you're listening to these people, you're likely to get effed over by a upcoming corporate action, which has been widely disclosed. You've had plenty of time to prepare or hedge or take preventative action. I chose option 3. I'll buy after the dip. If I'm right that there's going to be a vote and they're going to ask to increase the share count and it dips, then, well, I got to see what's on the proxy, really. I got to see what wording they put in there about any potential dilution. But at some point after that is when I'll be a buyer. I can't really say right now for AMC. Got to see what's on the proxy. Maybe got to see how people vote. Justin, how you doing? Dink says, show me the proxy. Show me the proxy, Jerry. Show me the proxy. My wife says we need a new car, Jerry. Show me the proxy. I mean, we could be making a mountain out of a molehill here. I get it. Maybe it's going to be all unicorns and rainbows. I just have no way of estimating the risk. Justin, yeah, let me put up on the screen because people keep saying, Tony, do you own GameStop? Reminder, I post in VIP. I post all my trades the second I take them. I was talking to Sparky this day on June 12th as I bought at 2161. He's like, I'm putting in a limit order too, but I'm putting mine in a little lower, around 2125. He didn't get filled. I got filled. Almost damn near the bottom. I had bought in April at 2125, sold in this run up at 33. Didn't quite get the top. The top was 35.81. Bonds. And then I bought the dip. I like to buy down here in this green demand zone. Now I'm kind of waiting to see if we get a new, maybe we create a new demand zone up here, and I'll buy a little higher. But I gotta let it play out a little bit. Right now we're making, as far as I'm concerned, we're making a run up here to 34. I got to see what happens. I would not mind selling up here again. But it's too early. I mean, every month, every quarter that goes by with GameStop, it's a different story. People say, Tony, we don't like you because you changed your story on GameStop over the years. First of all, I've been trading GameStop as long as any of you have. I did the buy and hold thing, and as I said, I switched to swing trading it the week of the split because I said, screw this. What I'm doing, this holding thing, these guys tell you they've never been wrong. Meanwhile, they've ridden it down all the way from whatever it was back then. You say you've never been wrong, but you've been in the red while we've been trading it profitably. It does require some patience. I get it. Someone asked me in the live stream the other night, there's no way you bought at 2161. I could post the trade tickets. I've posted trade tickets before. People act like they never see them. Show us you really bought. I have many times. Now, y'all keep on acting like you've never seen it, so what's the point? Show us your position. How much do you have? Why does it matter? Richard Newton had what? 100,000 shares or something? Did they still snipe at him? Absolutely. These people just want something to complain about. I'm not here to dance for clowns. Robert says, if GME hits 26, should we sell it all? It already hit 26, Robert. I don't give buy and sell instructions. I'll tell you what I'm doing. If you're in the Discord, if you're in the VIP, you'll know the second I do it. If you're on YouTube, next day or next time I go live, I'll have it posted in here where I sold. I prefer to sell up here around the supply zone. What I was going to say about things change with GameStop. The story keeps getting better. I mean, it was pretty bad a year ago, 2 years ago. Declining revenue, cutting stores, operating losses. They didn't have all this cash. They had some cash. Best thing they had going for them was no debt. But every quarter that goes by, things get a little bit better. And Ryan has done a fantastic ongoing job of cutting costs. Throwing everything overboard that he can. I am perfectly willing, I'm a rational investor, to change my analysis based on changing quarterly data. There's nothing wrong with that. That's how normal people analyze stocks. When things turn, you adjust your stance. I find very little reason to be bearish. There's no reason to be bearish on GameStop. Let's put it that way. The only discussion that you could have now is what is fair value. That's the only debatable point as far as I'm concerned. There's zero reasons to be bearish on GameStop. Tone says, amen, Tony. Enough holding. We don't make money just holding. Yep. Now, I'm not advocating that you go out and sell covered calls. That's a personal decision. Don't fuck around with options if you don't know what you're doing, first of all. But in our Discord, we have a lot of options traders. We have a lot of wheel traders. And we have a lot of people that sell cash secured puts on a lot of tickers or covered calls on tickers that they own at least 100 shares of. It's a very personal decision if you decide to do that. First of all, again, do not fuck with options if you don't know what you're doing. But even for the people that know what they're doing, if I talk to half a dozen of them on a Monday and everybody's selling covered calls, in general, many of them are picking different strike prices. Why is that? Because they might have a slightly different analysis, or even if we agree on where the stock is likely to go, they might have a different cost basis. And, you probably don't want to sell a covered call below your cost basis, for example. They might have different risk tolerance. They might have different fears about the stock running. We've learned to let that fear go. I'm not worried about the stock running. I can always go in. I'm sitting here. I've got my alerts. If I'm not sitting here, I can always buy more if the stock starts moving. If Roaring Kitty tweets. I have no fear of missing a run. That's the biggest falsehood that people keep you hooked about not getting smart. But what if it runs? I mean, if you're really worried about that, go buy a $50 cheap call. If you're really worried about that. You can get some cheap insurance if that's your fear. I heard someone sent me a clip. One of the GameStop pumpers trying to debate somebody on selling covered calls. This dipshit thought that you rolled your call option after they exercised on you. Guys, do not try and debate something that you don't have the basic knowledge of. It just makes you look idiotic, to be perfectly blunt. I would say, if you're selling covered calls, first of all, don't sell them. Ideally, don't sell them under your cost basis, the strike. And if you pick a strike that you're selling the covered call at, be okay with the fact that you might lose your shares at that price. Because it could happen. For some of y'all in GameStop, that might be 28. 30, 40. Everybody has a different gut feeling, a different cost basis, a different risk tolerance. Everybody's going to have different strike prices that they pick for those that are dabbling in that. Obviously, the lower it is, the more money you make on a weekly basis. We mostly do weeklies. I don't like this monthly thing on highly speculative stocks, highly volatile stocks. I might do monthly on a low volatility play. Michael says, how much cash does GameStop have now? About 8.7 billion, I believe, plus another half billion in Bitcoin. So I just say roughly 9 billion. TJ says buying more at 26.16. I like the 200 TJ, the 200 moving average on the daily. I'm hoping that as we get into October 3rd to 7th, that will act as some support. That's 25.91. For those of you that resisted buying here at 27, if you're looking for how far could it dip, we could retest this 25.90 this week. 26.16 is better than 26.30. It's a better entry than 26.30. You might be able to get 26. 25.90 maybe. I don't know. 2 red candles is concerning. I'd like to see a turnaround tomorrow. 5 minutes to go today. Richie Rich talking about SCLX. Someone asked me about that one today, Richie. SCLX. I asked back on the DM. This was my comment. I don't know if that was you that asked me. I said, I looked at it for about 15 minutes and my response was, you're going to have to sell me on the bull case because the financials are a bit of a wreck. I'm waiting for the sales pitch. That was not you. Okay. Well, I mean, apparently that ticker has some social media momentum because you're the second person in a day that's asked me about it. SCLX. I will tell you one thing that I did find interesting on this company. They did a reverse split. And why is this interesting? Because you guys know how everybody says every reverse split gets investors ruined. Look at this. They did a 1 for 35 back in April. $3.60. Since then, it's run up 9x, 10x, 10x. I mean, that's pretty different, right? We don't see that very often. But I don't know. The financials didn't speak to me. Maybe I missed something. The market seems to like it. I probably missed something. I'm waiting for somebody to sell me on the bull case. What did I miss? Michael says, I also asked about the dividend that Pal comment. What comment are we talking about, Michael? Has people scared. Yeah, I saw that Simner, they've got a pipe investment coming. I didn't want to dig into how that flows into Silex's financials. Maybe that's what I missed. NASCAR All Out says some of the biggest movers from today started after hours yesterday. Wonder if we get another runner after the bell. Make sure you guys have set up a screener. I've got a simple one over here in the right-hand quadrant. You can build a really good screener over on TradingView. I've got a pre-market one and a during the day one. And I often compare, but on my TradingView screener, it's not just the top gainers of the day, but I filter it by float and volume, turnover, and a few other things. Otherwise, you get too much trash to look at. I want to filter it down to a few parameters that are tradable. The date of the GME dividend, Michael. Data record is October 3rd, which means, if we're talking about GameStop, which means I believe that you should have bought it by October 2nd, so you can have T+1 and own the shares on the 3rd. That is my understanding. Bed Bath & Beyond, one day earlier. Their date of record is October 2nd. Anybody buying the Bed Bath & Beyond just to get the dividend, the warrant dividend? They are not really getting a lot of love here after announcing their dividend. The market closed. All right, GameStop closed down 2%. Ouch. Come on, man. Let's, before we wrap up here, let's see what the options chain looks like for this week. I think we talked about options the other night when we were doing the live stream. Because I see a lot of people on social media saying, imagine all those millions of options, those people that are going to owe warrants. Again, I just ask you to take a deep breath, pause, ask yourself, does that narrative make sense? Before you get all excited about it. Because most of you know, or you should know, that 70 to 80% of options do not get exercised. So whatever numbers people are throwing out there on social media, just derate it by 80%. Because those options are going to be closed out without any delivery. Someone's just going to, oh, I lost money, close it, or I'm ahead, take the profits. Second of all, if an options seller or buyer owes a warrant, it's maybe they already are going to receive warrants from the distribution, could be some portion. Certainly people, many of them writing covered calls, for example, own the shares. They're going to get warrants. Not going to be any mad dash from covered call writers to go have to source warrants. And even if they did need to go get warrants, there's going to be a market for them. Like, go out and buy them. I would bet it's going to be a fairly liquid market. That's my bet. Can I repeat the dividend once more? GameStop dividend date of record is October 3rd. That is 2 Fridays from now, which means you must buy any top-off shares that you need or want on or before October 2nd, Thursday. So you can have T+1 clearance and have them owned and cleared in your account on the 3rd. All right, before we finish up, I'm going to go up here and see if we got any Railtown news. These guys are driving me nuts. Waiting on this damn news. Railtown ticker RLAIF. We're waiting on a acquisition finalization announcement or a letter of intent. Still nothing. Well, it's still early in the day. They are at a conference in Toronto or somewhere up there in Canada. Maybe today or tomorrow while they're at the conference would be a good time to drop the news. Do you think? It's an AI conference. $0.43. getting pretty close to this demand zone. If I have a position in this stock, I might add if it were to touch this green demand zone. If not, I'm just going to wait out the news and then hope that we're right, that the market likes the news. No guarantees. It's an OTC stock. Don't follow my trades, bro. All right. That dude says, I have a good question. So when you're on Webull and you're looking at the time and sales, why some prices shown in white, bold, and the rest are either green or red? That has to do with was the order filled at the bid or the ask? I'm not mistaken. Green would be at the ask, red would be at the bid, white would be in between. Somebody fact check me on that. Somebody's texting me. Hang on a second. But that's a good question. I had that question myself at one time, that dude. All right. Great questions, great audience. Thank you. For the lovers and the haters, we appreciate you watching. I put in here GameStop Bulls Only. It's really for anybody. I don't mind any questions. I'm not going to boot you or block you for having a different opinion than me, as long as you can speak like an adult. The only people we block around here are the crybabies and the kids. Crybabies, kids, and clowns. Tony, you're a dumbass. Block. At least tell me why I'm a dumbass. You got to back it up with something. Otherwise, I know you're just coming over here from one of the clown channels because they don't like me. He's changed his opinion. He won't show his position. Have I ever shown my position on any ticker? No. Am I going to start with GameStop? No. My position size is irrelevant. Like I said, I'm going to finish with this. Richard Newton showed his position. Did the hate for him stop? Nope. These clowns just want something to complain about. And I don't dance for clowns. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go out with a little bit of up and to the right. My wife is working tonight, so there's a good chance we might have an evening live stream. I'm going to take a little break and spend an hour or two with her before she has to go to work. We love you. Be good to one another. And be careful about them social media grifters and pumpers.
Up and to the right. Up and to the right. Up and to the right.
Hello, millionaires. Short squeeze plays, my fortunes flip. GameStop's journey, an epic trip. From humble roots to the moon we fly. A company's dream will amplify. Ready warriors, keyboards in hand. With their eyes on the prize, they took a stand. No one's selling, we're here to fight. How does it go? Up and to the right. Up and to the right. We're in for the ride. It's us on the rise. It can't be denied. Up and to the right. Through the day and night. Together we'll soar. Our ass is in sight. Up and to the right.
Surprise!
We're gonna win.